Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the DC show. This is T. McNeil. Today is Sunday, so let's actually talk some more tech, gaming, news. So, guys, there is a very serious issue right now about Apple and this iOS 12.1.2 update, where basically it is destroying people's phones. All right, guys, which is never a good thing. But without further ado, let's actually get right into the article and all of the information. Now, a lot of people actually took to Twitter to address the situation with Apple and Apple support. And I'm going to actually go over some of those tweets with you guys. Okay, guys, because at the end of the day, this is a serious problem, as I just stated, and Apple has got to do something about this ASAP. All right. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So it says, guys, after a promising start, iOS 12.1.2 is going from bad to worse for iPhone owners, and Apple's legally motivated rush to push out the update needs further discussion, as it is now having a very serious consequences for many of its users. And furthermore, as more and more iPhone owners blindly upgrade to the iOS 12.1.2, reports are now flooding in from around the world, guys, not just here in the United States, but around the world, that it cuts off mobile data services. Are you freaking kidding me? Really, Apple? Really? So you blindly put out an update for the iPhone 10, 10s, 10s Max, and the 10R that actually cuts off people's mobile data services. So now you can't go online, you can't use the web, you can't use any apps, you can't check any bank statements, you can't check your stocks, you can't do anything with your phone because of a rushed update. That's great. Alrighty, guys, now here's the deal. You do remember me actually mentioning at the very beginning of the article that a lot of people from around the world took to Twitter to actually complain to Apple and Apple support about the issues that they're having with their particular phones. Now it says that tracking complaints on Twitter alone, iPhone owners now suffering from mobile data loss after upgrading to the iOS 12.1.2 can be found in North America, South America, Europe, and Asia. But the United States appears to be hit particularly hard. That's very interesting, guys. And I just say that because the United States is actually where Apple is located, okay? They're in California, all right? So for the United States to be hit the hardest, I mean, that's just utterly ridiculous to me. Nobody should be hit at all around the world, but, Apple's headquarters is right here in the United States. So how is it that the U.S. consumers are hit worse than someone that's all the way across the world overseas? I mean, that really just makes no sense, man. But let's finish off the rest of the article. Now, guys, I did mention that there were several tweets that just some people that was actually complaining about their phones. I'm gonna actually go into those tweets right now so you guys get a better idea of exactly what's going on with people's phones. All right, now check it out, guys. Here are some of the actual tweets coming from some of the users that's actually having problems with their iPhone products. Now, one tweet does say that thanks at Apple and at Apple support for the Christmas present. Since updating my iPhone to the iOS 12.1.2, I can't access cellular data. I reset my device and now I can't activate it anymore. No service. You better fix this in an update soon. New York City. And here's another tweet at Apple support. When is the next iOS update coming? My son and my wife's phones aren't able to make or receive phone calls after the 12.1.2 download. Mississippi. Are you serious, Apple? Really? Alright, and here's another interesting tweet, guys. Shout out to Apple and Apple support. I installed 12.1.2 and it bricked my cellular. Thanks for rushing out your updates again. Connecticut. And here's another interesting one, guys. At Apple support, I updated to the iOS 12.1.2, and now after that, I can't call or text, receive calls or text. What do I do? Question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point, question mark. And that's coming from Wisconsin. So obviously, guys, all of these tweets are very interesting, and there's actually several more tweets, but I can't put all of those tweets on here, guys, because it's just too many, okay? But that's just a general idea of how many people, as I mentioned, are actually having problems. And a lot of those folks are right here in the United States. Okay, guys. And like I mentioned it earlier in the article, Apple's going to have to find a way to rectify this problem. Okay. But I'm going to actually go into more detail and make my point right after this, guys. So stay tuned. Now, here's the deal, guys. I know a lot of you are probably asking, what the hell is Apple going to do about all of these thousands, probably millions of iPhone 10, 10s, 10s Max, and 10Rs that's actually having these issues? Okay. Here is what Apple is actually telling people to do. So it says that, so what is Apple doing? There has been no official comment, and the company's official Twitter support is telling users to restart their phones and update their carrier settings. But for what I can see, it is not helping, which is obviously a true fact. Okay, guys. So definitely let me know down below in the comment section how you guys feel about this particular information. I just want to weigh in on this, guys. And this is especially coming from an Apple user myself, guys. I actually have the iPhone 10s, and I have it in the rose gold color. I absolutely love the iPhone, and this is actually coming from a lifelong Android user. Okay, guys, I've had Android probably for the past 10 years, and I decided to switch to Apple, just to try something different. Okay, guys. But now with all of these iOS problems that Apple is having, it's really kind of making me have second thoughts about Apple. Guys, it's a great product, it's a great device, and the thing is, I use my iPhone, guys, to be honest with you, to create a lot of my content that you guys see and hear on the DC show. Okay, and that'll be a damn shame for me to update to the to the iOS 12.1.2 and then all of a sudden have my phone bricked, and then I'm not able to use my phone to create the content that I love doing. Okay, guys, which really leads me to my next point. A lot of people use their phones for several different things. Okay, guys, whether that be, like I said, creating content, whether that be, creating video files, making phone calls, downloading apps, taking pictures, guys, and uploading them professionally. People use their phones, and at the end of the day, people have to have their phones working all the time. Apple has to know, and they have to understand this. Okay, there's no reason at all why these updates should even be rushed out the way that they're being rushed out. And guys, here's the deal. It's just a really unfortunate thing that this is happening to a lot of people, whether they be right here in the United States or all around the world. Me being an Apple user, guys, as I stated before, this is really making me kind of iffy and nervous about updating my phone in the future. I definitely won't be updating to 12.1.2, and it's like now they have another update, guys, coming where the 12.1.3 is on the way, and we just don't know what to expect from Apple. If you update to that, is that going to cause even more issues, like brick the phone entirely where the phone doesn't even turn itself on? What's next coming from Apple? The thing is, guys, being a lifelong Android user, and a Samsung user for that matter, we've never actually heard so far of Samsung actually having these kind of issues with their phones. Okay, and like I said, it's really making me kind of iffy of possibly keeping Apple and me possibly switching back to Samsung. I hate to say that, guys, but I didn't update to the 12.1.2 out of fear. Okay, and it's just a damn shame that an update comes through that basically creates a havoc for your phone and doesn't allow you to actually use your phone as a phone. That should always be the basic number one thing of having a smartphone, is to be able to make a phone call, guys. Okay, and you should be able to make a text. Okay, we're not talking about you going on the web, we're not talking about using mobile applications, we're talking about the basic premises of the phone is to make a phone call. Anytime an update comes through that takes that a feature away, that's just crazy. And the only thing that you have to say to people is, oh, just restart the device and you should be fine. Okay, guys, I had a question. Whatever happened to the old days of phones, guys? Like the old flip phones, the old Nokias, the Motorola Razrs. I know you guys remember those phones where they just simply worked. Okay, those phones just simply worked. We didn't have any mobile data issues. We didn't have any connectivity issues. we didn't have any practical issues, guys. You flip the phone open, you make and receive calls, and that was it. I mean, whatever happened to those days, guys? I mean, I think at the end of the day, these phone companies are just getting ridiculous with these services. And the last thing, guys, Apple's going to definitely have to find a way to find a remedy to this problem. I mean, because at the end of the day, like I said, you should always have the ability to use your phone as a phone, okay, guys? And like I said, I just don't necessarily agree with what Apple is telling people to do. I've heard people even going through actually changing out their SIM cards, and that didn't even work, okay, guys? So like I said, at the end of the day, Apple's putting out all these different products. They are overpriced, as we all know. Apple's been shooting themselves in the foot for a very long time. And now I think this is the nail in the coffin with this iOS 12.1.2. Okay, so it really makes you kind of wary of Apple, and it makes you not really trust them because, people paying their hard-earned money and they're not getting results, and, they're getting messed up phones as a result of Apple's actions, okay? So it's just crazy, but y'all let me know how y'all feel. Also, guys, make sure that you like and share this content. It would greatly be appreciated. Also, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And last but not least, do not forget to follow me on Instagram at that's THE_DC show and the number 1. So I appreciate y'all watching and listening and tuning in. Until the next time, guys, have a good one.